Nick, into your training today, sort of an Instagram video, maybe you're doing some Ninja Warrior training or something like that. Can you just give us a little bit of this morning?
What day is it? Yeah, Wednesday. Every Wednesday, myself and a few other boys do some stuff on the sprung floor at the Ninja Academy. So a bit of jumping, a bit of skipping and things like that. So we do that. We do Jacob's Ladder, and then we do cardio. So and then we do weights in the Arvo. So that's our stock stand on Wednesday. So there's a few of us. There's normally myself, Josh Kennedy, the rucks normally as well. So I think Nathan Vardy's the only ruck that doesn't really do it. But yeah, there's a little crew that we go and do that every Wednesday. I'd rather be training though.
Sorry, what's the name of
Bit of just strengthening stuff with jumping and landing properly. So yeah, they kind of manage our loads, the strength and conditioning coaches, and how much jumping you do, I guess, on the hard surface. So that's a bit, I guess, less stress on your body jumping on the sprung floor. It's almost like being on a trampoline really. So yeah, it's a good little tool to practice with. I think we're building one at our new facility as well, so we won't have to go to the Ninja Academy anymore.
How's the rehab coming along?
Yeah, pretty good. I guess having that prior knowledge from doing my knee last time, I've probably been able to speed it up a little bit more. So yeah, it's progressing really well. I'm back running and kicking the footy and stuff, so pretty pleased with it so far.
Do you feel like it's gone smoother and quicker than the last one?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, last time I was on crutches for probably 6 to 8 weeks longer than what I was this time. So yeah, I was able to get moving and do some strength stuff through my legs in particular. So yeah, just checking my numbers a bit earlier on today. It's going a bit stronger through my legs than I did last time.
Have you done anything differently, Nick, to last time?
Probably just the earlier start. Yeah. So like I said, I was on crutches a lot longer last time and wasn't able to put any pressure or any weight through my legs for, I think it was 12 to 16 weeks. So this time we did 6 weeks and I was back walking and started jogging pretty quickly.
Is that because last time you had that second follow-up operation, you had a bit of setback?
I had a bit of bone stuff going on in my knee as well, which I had a little bit of this time, but not to the same extent. So yeah, there's a bit of that, but also I guess being, playing the way I do, we weren't sure of what was the right process. It didn't really fit the same mould as someone like a Mark Lacroix who's done his before. So yeah, it was pretty much a learning experience for me, but I guess it's helped me speed it up this time.
With what you've said there, are you projecting that you'll be back, I guess, earlier than expected?
I'd hope so, yeah. I've been pushing for it. I think at this stage we've kind of looked at the middle of the year, so potentially before the bye. But yeah, it's a symptom-based thing, I guess, to see how it goes week by week. So I'll have a better idea once I'm back into full training in a couple of weeks.
It's around 10, that game you've got in mind?
I think so. There's a few of us who are aiming around that sort of area, so that's just our goal. But yeah, if it doesn't happen, I'll be pushing. I won't be pushing too hard, but I'll be pushing to do everything I can to get my body in the right state for then.
You feel like you can, like the thing that makes you such a unique athlete and player is your size, your explosiveness, your ability to recover and sprint. Do you feel like you'll be able to retain those traits after 2 knee reconstruction?
Yeah, even it's early days now, but I'm still jumping and stuff. I feel like I can do that pretty well. Yeah, I thought I might lose a bit of that, but I'm jumping off both legs pretty comfortably at the moment. So I'm pretty confident I can keep doing it. But also, I think last time doing my knee, I've also been able to adapt my game and change a few things. And not being able to jump, I had a good conversation with some guys, and I think Polly Farmer did it a while ago where he did his knee. So he used to jump a fair bit, and then he learnt to, I guess, use his body in that sort of manner. And I was able to learn some of those tips, I guess, of some of the ruck stuff last year. So that'll help my game going forward as well. So if I don't need a jump, I can use my body while I'm still on the ground.
Was it the same graft type as the first one?
Yeah, same. So I've taken which knee have I done now? My right knee, so I've forgotten. I've taken my left hamstring out of my leg and put it into my right knee, yeah.
Any pain with the hammy?
No, it's all still, I guess, a work in progress. It's obviously a bit vulnerable. Both hammies are having that one less hamstring tendon in there, but yeah, it's going along pretty smoothly.
Have you found out any answers as to why 2 knees have gone within the space of almost 3 years?
I don't know how to land properly. Yeah, you're at a higher risk once you've done one to, do your next one. That's just the nature of it. But yeah, I guess I was just unfortunate the way I landed on both occasions. Like, yeah, I jump a million times throughout the year, and yeah, just I guess you have one foot facing the wrong way or your body facing the wrong way particular time, it's it's bound to do your ACL.
And then mentally, the challenge of knowing that you're going to be jumping and then landing each time. Can you talk about the mental?
The mental challenge of playing or jumping and landing doesn't really affect me. It's probably the rehab stuff. Like, I don't know, 6 a.m. this morning at Jacob's Ladder, that's the stuff that hurts. Knowing you've got to go through that, knowing what you got to do. But I'm pretty fortunate. I've got a little crew of guys that are, well, it's not a great thing to have too many guys in rehab, but a few senior guys are in there, so we're all working pretty hard together. So it makes it a little bit easier.
We've seen you working with the ruck group, Tom Hickey and Nathan Vardy. Is it looking to you that it's going to be the same sort of two-prong lineup until you return?
Yeah, I'd hope so. We've always used it in the past, and Vars has fitted in pretty comfortably. But with Hicks and Brooksby as well, those guys will obviously play some games of footy as well. So they've got a different ruck style to what I have or to what Vars has or Scotty Lycett had. So it's pretty much working that chemistry with our mids and those guys as well. So that's looking pretty good.
What did you learn as a ruck coach? Because you were a coach for a period of time. Did it help you?
I learned it was very boring. You get caught up watching the game. It's hard to just watch ruckman and not watch the whole game as a whole. But it was a good learning experience. I got to, learn a bit more about the ruck craft in particular, a fair bit more. Obviously having Coxie, I used to do a fair bit of it and take notes on every single player. But I guess last year I had to take notes and help, implement those to help shut down other ruckmen through our ruckmen. So I learned a fair bit along the process, and I'll be doing that for the first, half of the year. But post that, I don't want anything to do with that. I want to play. Yeah.
You're out of contract at the end of the year. Do you sort of have a point to prove, or do you think that contract will just unfold as you play?
I think I'll sit down with the club. We've had minor talks, but we'll try and knock it over as soon as possible. So I'm not sure what date that'll be, but I'm not one to kind of hold the club to ransom. This club's looked after me since day one, and they're not going to do me wrong. So I'm pretty comfortable. Whenever they want to do it, we'll get it done and sign that one off.
So you think you've sort of earned the respect of what you've done in the past, and then by saying that they're not going to muck you around, the two knees doesn't really come into consideration?
Oh, I think there'll be little clauses and whatnot in terms of the game stuff, with the contract, but. Besides that, the club, is aware of where my rehab's at, where my body's at, and I'm a realistic person with knowing that I've got 2 compromised knees now. So, whatever Niz decides, he decides. But I'm happy because I do have a lot of trust in those guys upstairs.
The goal for you to finish out your playing career with West Coast Eagles?
Yeah, definitely. I don't look to go anywhere else. I love Perth. This has been home for the majority of my life. So, it's a plan.
Nick, you said you're a realistic person. Do you feel like it's realistic that you may have to take a pay cut to get that contract put to bed?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've got a lot of senior guys in the team now, a lot of premiership players as well. So to keep that core group of players together, a lot of us will. And like I said, the club knows where I'm at, and I'm, as I said, realistic with where I'm at as well. So whatever they put forward, I'll be happy with.
How much of a driving force in your rehab has been the success that you saw the team have last year?
Yeah, massive. I guess it didn't really hurt me as much until you see the celebrations and whatnot. Obviously happy for the boys, but game day was tough. I had mixed emotions, along with Andrew Gaff and Brad Shepherd, and I think the biggest thing that helped me be content with the circumstances I've been dealt with is seeing guys like Eric McKenzie, who probably don't get an opportunity to play in one again, where I have that hope, I guess, to hopefully play in one at some stage. So myself and the other 2 boys, hang on to that little bit of hope, knowing that we've still got an opportunity, whereas some guys never get that opportunity to do so.
You said something about not landing properly. The clubs do work on that, don't they? What they call it proprioception or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Have you spent extra time on that to try and make sure you get better, more stable landing when you come back?
Yeah, so that's what the Ninja Academy, that's pretty much what it is. So I go and spend an hour there every week on top of the proprio we do every day. We do stuff before weights and during the week as well, with landing and balancing and all this kind of stuff. So, I do a lot more of that and just repetition after repetition. But I guess being a jumping athlete, you're exposed to a lot more than every other player on the field. So, you actually learn to do it properly.
What was it like going to America and rubbing shoulders with you famous people over there?
It was a good experience. We used UCLA's facilities to train for a couple of weeks. So myself and our weights coach went over, and it was a really good experience.
Ben Simmons, you got to meet him. What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. A few basketballers were over there, so yeah, it was good just to watch some live sport. Probably something we miss out on a bit over here. We get the cricket and the soccer and the Wildcats, but yeah, it was good to see some more live sport elsewhere, especially this time of year.
Is there anyone you meet over there? I mean, here you're such a known face, and it's probably hard a bit to hide in WA, so it's good to go over to the US. Is there anyone you found yourself sort of being a bit starstruck by them?
Yeah, there's a few. I guess the basketballs, you know, the LeBron Jameses, those type of guys. They're the ones that you kind of watch every day on the TV, and to see them, I guess you're in awe because, you know, they're elite athletes, but they're on a whole new level. So, yeah, it was good to see some of those guys.
Did you get to speak to LeBron?
Yeah, we did New Year's with LeBron, so it was yeah, it was really good. It was pretty cool. So, like I said, there's amazing athletes over there, but even just meeting some of the sports science guys at some of the college teams or NFL teams was pretty cool as well, just to get insight and see what we do and compare to what they do over there. And yeah, it was a really good insight as well.
Did LeBron have any idea who you were? Did you have to show him highlights or anything like that?
Yeah, it was interesting. He said he'd seen AFL before. He didn't know who I was, but he knew the Collingwood Magpies. Dellavedova used to play with him at Cleveland, so he was a mad Pies supporter. So I think that's the only reason why. But yeah, he had I guess an understanding of what football was, but whether he had a passion for it, I'm not too sure.
Nick, it takes a team to win a premiership. Do you feel that the players that have already won one are as motivated this time round as opposed to 6 months ago? Yeah,
don't worry, I'll be making sure they are. I think a week post the grand final celebrations, I was making sure the boys weren't drinking too much or partying too hard because I want one. But yeah, everyone's pretty motivated. I think a lot of them have that mindset of, once they've won one, they want another one, which is good to hear and good to see. So our running records, the guys are running pretty well at the moment in the time trials and training pretty well. So our young group of guys as well are pretty hungry. So there's a group of guys who are older who missed out on playing, but also the guys who are younger who missed out really want to play. Seeing guys like Dan Venables and Willie Rioli and Liam Ryan win one, being the similar age, they want one as well. So it's helping drive all the boys to work harder.